What's going on, Aries? How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of April 2024. So in this reading, Aries, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you and so much more regarding the month of April 2024. So I'm going to pull the energy for you. Aries, happy birthday to a lot of the sun signs out there, by the way. And let's go ahead and pull the energy. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. My fellow Aries brothers and sisters. Let's go. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and wow, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Aries. This is already going to be something else. So what is that sound? All right, I really... Aries, something here... something's going to really mess up your love life. I feel for most of you in a good way, but just, man. I'm just pulling your challenge now. What is the challenge for Aries? There we go. All right, Aries, so let's go ahead and get into this reading. You know, the overall general energy of this month for you is very unlike anything I've seen for you in a while, because we have two major arcana cards with an Ace of Cups. So there's going to be a lot of changes to your love life. And for many of you, you know, it may not mean that there's a change to your romantic relationships. But for many of you, it actually will be. So let's go ahead and get into some pre-shuffled oracle cards before we get into the tarot. I feel like I just have so much to say right now that I'm like, so I'm just gonna like take you into the earth realm. All right. So let's go ahead. These pre-shuffled oracle cards are the themes that you are going to be dealing with in April 2024. So let me show you them successively. The first one you have is Neptune, which has to do with spirituality. The second theme you have is Chiron, which has to do with inner healing of your deepest wound. And then the third theme is the third house of communication and interaction. So, you know, a lot of you, your deepest wound is going to be triggered in April 2024, especially when it comes to new love, and it could be a faded love connection coming in for you that is going to absolutely, like, really throw you off. Now, here's what I sense. Your wounding is going to be dissolving. The thing about Neptune is that it dissolves whatever it touches, or it can make it more spiritual. And Chiron has to do with your deepest wound, but it's also the wounded healer, the alternative wounding path that you can take in life, like alternative healing, shadow work, alternative medicine, instead of just going to CVS to fix all your problems, you know. And so there's something here about your wound. Your biggest wound is going to be dissolving, but it completely depends on how you play your card, on how you allow this to unfold, which we're going to get into because this is a really important reading. So many of you here, you're going to be brought back into something that maybe you don't even have conscious memory of, is what I'm getting. A wounding, something that has been running on autopilot, especially when it comes to your relationships, are going to be triggered. Now, for many of you, I'm going to be honest what this is about. This is about something new coming into your life, and you being like the impulsive Aries and then kind of like what happens to the rest of your life when something so brilliant and so life-changing comes in, because that's what's happening for you in April 2024. Many of you will feel that you have finally met a soulmate or a new love that just absolutely knocks your socks off. But depending on your own personal wounding and how you go about this, it's almost like taking the bait and going with the new love can like literally completely re-amplify all your wounding for some of you. Or for some of you, going with this new love can actually be the healing aspect, and it can heal your wounds. But there's new love coming in for you. It is destined, and it's going to blow up the foundation of your life. Now, it's interesting, the other theme is the third house of communication and interaction, and the third house has to do with daily things, like what you're doing on the daily. It has to do with your communication, gathering of knowledge, like the Gemini house here. And so with this theme being here, the third house also has to do with being a little bit of a devil's advocate. The Gemini dual mind, you can see it from both perspectives. And with Neptune here being Neptune is the energy of compassion, and it's the spiritual healer energy. So for many of you, what I sense right off the bat is you're going to have to be very attuned to the wounds of people around you as a result of this new opportunity coming into your life that's going to blow your effing mind. Because I actually sense that there's going to be many people around you who are wounded by this new opportunity that you have. Okay? That's what I really sense here. Now, for others of you, before we get into the tarot, the last thing I'll say here is that it does seem to be a great time for all of you to turn your deepest wound into some sort of art through communication. So this could be a great time to do music, and like, I'm not really a fan of screamo, but like down to the river, you know what I mean? Like you could do that. You could like rap like me. You could sing. You could dance, but some sort of creative way of letting your wounding out is what I actually feel here. But for many of you, Aries, you had better hold on to your halter top. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the tarot. Just trust me, you're going to want to follow along this reading, okay? So your opportunity is the Nine of Pentacles. And this is where it gets real interesting right off the bat. Because the Nine of Pentacles is someone who is single. The Nine of Pentacles is someone who is a little bit like in their own world, and they can come and go as they please. It has to do with financial independence. So for many of you, there will be actually your biggest opportunity. It's coming through as you being somewhat independent. This can be you working on your own wounding and somehow turning it into a financial benefit. With the Nine of Pentacles being in your opportunity, there could be some sort of new income coming in for you, or like a way of managing money that as a result of April 2024, your opportunity when it comes down to it is the Nine of Pentacles. So in some sort of way, I feel that you can profit financially from the changes that you go through, because you will be going through them in April 2024, Aries. But the main thing that actually stood out to me before we clarify is like you need to remain uncommitted, because there's going to be if you're trying to commit to something too much right now, you are really going to create like a hater. So it might be wise for you to just right now to do not commit to anyone, especially in terms of business, especially, whatever, if you're single in love, whatever love, you know what I'm saying? You need to remain slightly independent for whatever opens up for you. Just some advice. And then you have your challenge is the Queen of Swords, which has to do with the intellect, which has to do with the mind and also conflict. But it's, you could really be stuck in your head this month. The challenge is the Queen of Swords. There could also be here a challenge to act with reason and logically, especially in moments where your wounding could be very triggered. Because you have Neptune, Chiron, and the third house as the themes. So it's like this spiritual wounding of communication whirlwind. And so it would make sense to me why the Queen of Swords is in your challenge. It might be challenging for some of you to like set boundaries with other people and I actually very so much feel like this in love, Aries, is that, I don't know, we'll see what that Queen of Swords is about, but I just feel like it's remaining kind of like logical. It might be really hard to at this time, but here we go. And I just don't know why this overall general energy is giving me like a really weird feeling. And here it is. Your overall general energy is the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Cups, and the Tower. First thing that I sensed is that there's a new love experience coming into your mind that's destined, part of your destiny. It's like a jackpot thing. It doesn't happen very often, and it would make sense that it's happening in April 2024. But then you have the Tower, which is an old foundation being blown up. And it's interesting that the Tower would be right next to the Ace of Cups. There's new love coming into your life that leads to people wanting to jump out of the tower. You know what I mean? And this'll be a beautiful death. Watching Aries love someone. Mystic, control yourself, please, before the Karens get angry. Okay, and so I don't know what this is. It doesn't have to be, this can be a very beneficial thing for all the people around you. Most likely, this is going to be a new opportunity that triggers the deepest wound within you, the wound within yourself, but it does seem to be part of your destiny here. So just hold on to your halter top. Now, let's get it even more interesting, Miss and Mr. Aries. You, in what you don't see coming, have the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Temperance card. And the King of Cups has to do with unconditional love and someone that is very aware of emotional undercurrents. I'm picking this up on the energy of someone who's been around you or who is around you. Even if you're a man watching this, I feel that this could be a feminine energy. Make it that if you're a man. I feel like this is, or even if you're, it doesn't matter about gender. It's just energy. So take it as it resonates. But there's obviously, in what you don't see coming, a very sketchy situation regarding love with a person. The King of Cups is a court card. It represents an individual. The Temperance card has to do with moderation, but it also has to do with merging, and it has to do with harmony, and it's a very angelic frequency that could be related to the Wheel of Fortune with the Ace of Cups. So for some of you, there could be a real trust issues coming up for you and what you don't see coming. This could be with an existing person, a real trust issues here. It could be that you don't trust someone anymore as a result of changes that come in, because and it could be someone doesn't, or it could be someone doesn't trust you as a result of these changes coming in. But no matter what happens, and I know Teal Swan's going to kill me for this, but no matter what happens, you need to remain a little bit independent. Okay? I know Mary going to kill me, but let me finish. Blame it on the clarifications. All right. So now let's go to your advice, and we're going to clarify all this, okay? But your advice is the Fool, the King of Swords, and the Ace of Wands here. So it looks like you need to make a logical decision in order to embark on something new. The Fool is all about a fresh spiritual beginning, and it's someone who doesn't care about, pitfalls along the way. It's someone who has a spiritual innocence about them that can flow. In order to avoid problems, the King of Swords premeditates and knows all the pitfalls along the path. The Fool just flows and can effortlessly avoid them. So maybe there's a combination of, a logical decision that you need to just go with the flow into a new direction. The Ace of Wands is the card of inspiration. It's a new beginning. The wand kind of looks like something that's erect here, so it could just be like an excitement. It could be something along those lines. And it's interesting to me that the Ace of Cups would be in your overall general energy, right next to the Wheel of Fortune, major opportunity, destiny. And then in your advice, Spirit is saying new. Spirit is saying to go in a new direction. But you know what's even more interesting to me is that the Queen of Swords is in your challenge and the King of Swords is in your advice. So this can be an interpersonal conflict with you and a loved one as a result of a new beginning that you have. Now, if you're a single Aries here, there can be trust issues regarding a new relationship coming in for you when it comes to April. And that's why I feel like the King of Cups is right next to the Seven of Swords. And the Temperance card is here. Like whether this is a new person coming in, I feel for most of you it is, you're going to be working through trust issues in a relationship. And if you're in a relationship, I don't know what's exactly going to happen, but something is going to come in to like create disharmony. Doesn't have to be bad, but I kind of feel like there's, with Chiron and Neptune involved in this, be aware of your deepest wounds right now, please. But the problem is that many of you are not aware of your deepest wounds, and this month you'll be made aware of them. So it's like count to 10 before you try to do anything. Your opportunity is not to spaz. You know, you might want to spaz, but, you know, the opportunity might be to just like kind of be like, don't show how triggered you are in some sort of way, because the King of Swords is also here in your advice. The King of Swords next to the Fool, though, is like, it is a combination of openness and closedness. So use your intuition as to what that could mean here, Aries. But Spirit's definitely advising you to move in a new direction. I feel it's in a relationship here. So, you know, this is very interesting here. This is very interesting. So let's go ahead and start clarifying this reading for you, okay, to see what it's really about. So the first card that I want to clarify is actually why the Ace of Cups is here. Why is the Ace of Cups here for Aries in your overall general energy for April 2024? Well, the Ace of Cups is first of all clarified by the Hierophant and the Queen of Pentacles here. So this could be a new business commitment that is coming in for you, especially with the Nine of Pentacles here being in your opportunity, Aries. Now wow. The Ace of Cups is clarified by the Fool, the Queen of Pentacles, and also the Hierophant here. So this has to do with tradition, guidance, abundance, and a fresh new start. The Fool is also in your advice. And so I'm really happy to see that. The Ace of Cups is only clarified by good energy. It's a supercharged new beginning with spiritual energy that could lead to a new earthy beginning. So I sense that many of you, this could somehow make you money, or it can be something that somehow you are in a new earthy relationship. You know, the Queen of Pentacles here, this could be your frequency, could be the frequency of the person that you're dealing with. But the Hierophant has to do with like genuine, it's like a spiritual marriage type of thing. But the Hierophant also has to do with impersonal guidance. And because you have Neptune, Chiron, and the third house as a theme, many of you will be moving through your wounding, and as a result of that, sharing it with the world for other people to learn what you've gone through. Because trust me, during April 2024, people are going to need all the help they can get. Some people need, you know, some breadcrumbs. You're going to need to give them the whole loaf this month, okay, for the practitioners out there. And it could be something that is like, with the Wheel of Fortune right next to it, it could be something that is part of your destiny to really step up, Aries, and maybe be a dispenser of information in a completely new way that involves Aries energy. Because I always like to say, Aries likes to be the first person to get something done. It likes to innovate. It likes to be the trailblazer. And so I really feel like there's all this ample opportunity for you to do something in a completely different way. Now, let's clarify why the Wheel of Fortune is here in your overall general energy. Yeah, this is a quick potential breakup, or the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Eight of Cups and the Four of Wands. The Eight of Cups is a card about walking away from something that's no longer emotionally satisfying, and the Four of Wands is the card of soul family, and it's the card of a rite of passage, or it's like you're traveling across the country and it's like a village that welcomes you just for like a couple days and then they kick you out. So I feel like for many of you there's a deep recognition on a soul level that something in your life is just a rite of passage. This could have to do with the Tower moment happening. There could be someone that you thought was going to be in your life forever that you realize, you know, maybe there's a new phase of your life starting right now. And it may not have to do with anyone else. I mean, I kind of was like, we'll have to see actually still. Let's clarify that Tower. Because like this is turning out to be way more PG than I thought. You're welcome, Karen. Angels, don't fail me now. Why is the Tower here? Oh my God. I mean, look, the Tower is literally clarified by the Sun, the Star, and the Eight of Wands. This is rapid healing. This is rapid. And you know what's funny is that this Tower is coming out in the second half of the month. This Tower is coming out exactly around the time of the 20th of April, around the time that Jupiter will conjunct Uranus in the sky, which will bring amplified random change into all of our lives. But on a personal level for you, Aries, it looks like around the time of April 20th and even to mid-April, there's going to be a new... I've never seen a Tower. The Tower is usually meant to be something bad because it represents a foundation of your life ending. And I can clearly see that with the Eight of Cups being here. But with this being in your overall general energy, Aries, clarified by this, something is going to be brought to light that will forever change your life by the 20th of April, but even by mid-April. And that's why you need to be in this energy, because you don't know what is going to happen. Now, one of the dangers is that some of you will be so triggered by the eclipse energy on April 8th that it's going to send you into a negative downward spiral where you're not neutral and you miss all these great opportunities. So don't let the beginning of April trip you out, Aries. But I will say that it seems to me that whatever new opportunity is coming into your life, it may for some of you be something that really pisses people off that are around you. Okay, so let's clarify why that Seven of Swords is right next to the King of Cups. Seven of Swords is so far clarified by the Four of Cups in reverse. Ouchie, Wally. Why else is the Seven of Cups? Why else is the Seven of Swords here? Yeah. The Seven of Swords in what you don't see coming right next to the Queen of Cups walking into the Queen of Swords in your challenge is clarified by the Four of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Wands. For me, the Four of Cups in reverse is about emotional rejection that really stings someone. It's not someone that's rejecting something because they're in apathy. It's coming through as someone is feeling hurt, like in the most negative way. They didn't pick me to be on the kickball team. I always get last to be on the kickball team, and I'm not neutral about it. It's just the first thing coming through. So I feel like this, and it's wedged in between two court cards. It's wedged in between the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So if you're an Aries female that has been setting boundaries with a male who loves you, and this new thing happens in April, this might be the time where they throw a tantrum and actually can't handle it anymore. And that's just one example for the Aries woman. But for many of you out there, look, it just seems like this could be something that there's definitely a sketchy, unreliable, exciting energy here. But I just pick it up as like someone else's energy that's like more so that you have to deal with it. And let's clarify why that Queen of Swords is in your challenge, because every clarification that we just did, the Queen of Swords is like looking at it like this, right? So let's clarify why the Queen of Swords is in your challenge, Aries, okay? Ooh, Queen of Wands. Well, the two cards that are really standing out here in your challenge are the Queen of Wands and also the Seven of Wands here. So that's interesting. There may be a boundary that you have to set in order to protect your authentic energy at this time, because I feel like, once again, there's an opportunity coming in for you that's going to amplify your real soul, your authentic energy, and there may be people that can't go along the ride for you, or there may be some adjustments that need to be made here. I always would advise you to count to 10 before you spaz on anyone this month, and try to if someone triggers you in the moment in a real time, just kind of hold your breath and then go journal about it, or go make art with it, or go do something with it that won't get you judged, like the autistic mystic being like, ring the bells, yo, and everyone's like, Chiron. Okay, so let's continue. Let's clarify in your advice. Let's clarify why the Fool is here. Well, look, the Fool, I'm telling you, there's a very difficult situation on an interpersonal level related to wounds in love. The Fool in your advice is clarified by the Three of Wands, the Lovers, and also the King of Wands in reverse. So the advice here is definitely to remain optimistic and be patient here. The Lovers card has to do with a choice in love, and the King of Wands in reverse here, it can represent maybe there's a new opportunity that you have to go through a breakup, but you don't immediately do it. And, it's interesting to me that you have the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, upright, and then you have the Queen of Wands upright, and then you have the King of Wands in reverse here as well. So it seems like there can be a lot of relation issues that are coming up as a result of this new beginning. But you have to remember that you have Neptune, Chiron in the third house, so you're going to have to communicate. I wouldn't just shut down I wouldn't just if there's a new opportunity that is going to affect, Aries, so this is going to be a very big month for you, and this is what I got for you. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I really do appreciate you. Happy birthday. See you later.